Hey, we have a very special guest. She plays Sandy Lester, Payton Reilly from Tootsie, the Broadway musical.
Hey, happy to be
Yay!
here.
Yay! I'm so happy to have you here. First off, Billy is really excited to see it. I don't know who's more excited, he is or I am, but he couldn't make it to the interview. I apologize for that, but we will both be there. And first and foremost, how did you get into acting? I always like to ask that question first.
Well, I actually was in competitive gymnastics my whole life, very seriously, and that's a completely different world where everything has to be perfect, every toe has to be pointed, and there's not a lot of room for creativity there. And I was, getting into my high school years, and one of my teachers, was like, "Wow, you really have a knack for this. Maybe you should try." And then I did my first play, and it was just opened up this world of you don't necessarily have to be perfect. You just have to be yourself and make fun choices and play. And oh my gosh, I just said, wow, this is exactly what I wanted to do. And so from there, I just like immediately dove in. I think I was in the eighth grade, like
I was
going
going to
into
ask
ninth
if you were
grade.
in middle school or in
Yeah,
high
it was
school.
it
Yeah.
was in it was eighth grade, ninth grade is really when I made the switch and it was kind of a big controversy. Wow, Peyton quit gymnastics, like this isn't gonna work out. And look at what they're all saying now.
Ha
But
ha.
it
And
was
you know
it
what's
was great.
amazing is that
Gymnastics
you
really helped
probably
too.
I was just going to say I can just imagine because
Yep,
then I'm sure you can dance because of gymnastics, which makes you
exactly.
that triple threat thing.
Exactly. And then, when you're in an audition in New York and at the end of the day, you've done everything and then they go, "Can anyone tumble?" And I'm always like, it's like the one thing I have that's better than, it's a nice extra little sprinkle to have for
Yep,
sure. And it
for
helps me a
sure.
lot. And
For
it helps
sure.
me because you learn a lot about perseverance and, that's gymnastics is scary and it's a lot of work and you have to like put aside your fears and perform. And the lesson I really learned in gymnastics that's really carried over is if you fall off the beam, you still have to get up and finish your routine. And
Yeah.
doesn't that just translate to acting so much? I mean, you go into these auditions and you try and you fail and you don't get the part, but you still have to go to the next audition.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus like on in gymnastics on a balance beam, you're balancing, you're towing the line all the time. Very
Yes.
similar in acting, I think too.
Yes.
Constantly towing that line. And
Yep.
and so did you and now where are you from originally?
Michigan. I grew up in Michigan, near Detroit,
Mhm.
and I ended up going to Western Michigan University for musical theater
It's a
performance.
great
I got
school.
my degree. It's a fantastic
It was
program.
one of my son's choices because he's a musician and
Yes,
he's
they have a
he's now getting
beautiful
his
program.
master's for teaching for education, and that was on his list, and he ended up at Boston University. So yeah, it's a great school.
It's a great school, and I really honed my craft there, and I learned so much about what it means to be a professional. And I can't thank my professors enough for setting that foundation for me before I moved to New York. Because then right after that, we did a New York showcase, and I got an agent, and I moved
Wow.
to New York City, and I've been hitting the pavement ever since. And Tootsie's really my big break. I mean, I've done regional gigs, but this is the best thing I've ever done.
So that's very exciting. I love
Yeah.
to hear that. It was funny because you answered my next question was, New York or LA. There's always one or the other. Although I think that landscape is changing since COVID. Actually, it's kind of
Yeah.
everywhere. But I'm curious. So how did start the process of your auditioning? How did your agent got you the audition, and how did that
Mhm.
go?
Yeah, it was the weirdest audition process for Tootsie because a little thing happened called the pandemic,
Oh
and
yes.
we started quarantining, me and my fiance, and we're like 2 weeks into this quarantine, and this audition goes out for Tootsie and a notice. And I think everyone was in a little bit of denial, like, okay, and we're gonna send out this tour now. And everyone was like, this isn't gonna happen. But my fiance forced me to send a tape. I said, why would I even bother? I'm not gonna
Hmm.
get it. It's not gonna be a thing, which is, by the way, when you see the show, my character to a T. But anyway, we
Fits.
he says you need to send in a tape. So I sent in a tape, and then I got a call back, and it was all through video the whole
Wow.
time. I auditioned through Zoom face to face with one of my other actors. We were doing a scene over Zoom while other people watched. It was really, really a weird process. And it went on for a couple months and then we got it. But then we had to sit on the news for a long time because the tour got postponed due to COVID, postponed again. And I just kept thinking, well, it's never going to happen. And then it finally did. And we went out and it's just been a whirlwind. This is now our second year of the tour. So I think I've been on the road for 16 months overall.
So how long has that put your wedding off for?
Well, that's the best part. So we had a little break in between the first year and the second year. My fiance has now stepped into the show. He is in the show with me.
No way.
And so we have been planning our wedding while we've been on the road this whole time. We get married September 30th.
Congrats.
Of this year. And we're going to be just as surprised as the guests at the wedding because we've made just so many decisions blindly. Just, all right, I guess you'll be the DJ because we can't be there, right? We're getting married in Michigan where we're both from. And we can't be there to make these decisions. I don't know what the cake's going to taste like. Good luck.
No cake. That's what's good, but it's fun. It's just like every night when you do the show, when you do Tootsie, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, sure, you have lines. Yes, you have the songs. You've got it all memorized. Every night. That's why I love theater.
That's why I love theater. And to answer your question, why I would choose New York over LA, it's because I love live theater. And there's no feeling like it when you say something and people laugh. Oh my God, I'm on a high. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
It's why I prefer live radio over voice tracked radio any day now. Same thing. So now have you been to the Fabulous Fox yet? Our beautiful, glorious theater.
No, but there is something really I'm excited about is that the Fabulous Fox in St. Louis is kind of a sister twin to the Fox Theater in Detroit, which is where we're from.
Okay.
And we have not been able to go to Detroit on this tour. So I'm going to pretend like I'm in my hometown, like bringing it home when I'm in that theater. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they're designed the same way.
Oh, you're going to love it.
I'm so excited. It's such a beautiful space. And, St. Louis is such a theater loving town that they're going to love Tootsie so much because it really is a love letter to theater, and people who love theater will love our show.
And the movie, of course, we all know the movie very well, most of us, but how does the musical differ from the movie? I know everybody's going to be wanting to know that.
I mean, that's a great question. And I think what we've done such a good job of is that fans of the movie are going to love our show because it's the same plot. It's the same characters that you know and love. But we've moved it to a modern day. So, new generations of audiences, younger people who maybe didn't see the movie in the 80s, they can still relate because we make lines about our iPhones and Twitter. Like it is relatable no matter what generation you are.
It's updated a little bit.
Yeah, it's updated, but the thing that we did the best is that in the movie, Dustin Hoffman, he can't get a job because he's super opinionated. So he dresses up as a woman and pretends to be someone else and gets a job in a soap opera. Our show is the same, only he dresses up as a woman to get a part in a Broadway musical. So that way we can incorporate the singing and the dancing through that show within the show. And I think that was the most brilliant choice to adapt it to the stage.
I love that. Absolutely love it. And as I'm going to show a little bit of this after we're done, because I know you're busy. But talk about Sandy Lester. Now, for people that have never seen it, what kind of a character is she? You started to say at the beginning that she's like you a little bit.
She's like a very ridiculous version of, I think, any person who has ever felt self-doubt. But she's Terry
Which is everyone.
Exactly. It's not just actors, but she's also an actress. She's trying to make it on Broadway just like Michael. But she can't get a part, not because she's opinionated, but she can't get a part probably because she's not very good. But she's still trying, and she's so fed up and she wants to quit that now her self-doubt has completely spiraled, and it's affecting every aspect of her life. And so she is this kind of negative spiral when she walks in. I never stop talking. I never stop complaining until I leave the stage, and then I come back out. But I think it's all funny though, you know, and it's
Right.
a way to bring humor. People in the audience who have ever felt that way are watching that show and they're laughing and they're thinking, "Oh my gosh, I've done that."
Right. That's
And
so
then they
me.
reevaluate how ridiculous it is
Yeah.
to be so negative about yourself that she's only bringing more negativity, right?
Right.
And so
Mm-hmm.
I get to sing this super long, super fast song where I talk about, well, I don't even want to go to the audition because I know what's going to happen. And then I rattle on for like 5 minutes straight about all the terrible things that are going to happen to me when I go to this audition. And
Oh
it
my
is,
gosh, we've all done that.
oh, it is so much fun to do every single night. And I love hearing the audience react and clap and laugh because I know that they know that feeling. Actor or not, you know that feeling. And
Absolutely.
to be able to embody that every day is such a gift.
Oh, that's awesome. And
Oh, yeah.
how is it working with your fiance?
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. And he joined the tour because we lost one of our men last year,
Mhm.
who basically his job was to cover all of the leads, all of the male leads.
Wow.
So my fiance joined the tour. He covers about four lead roles. And after 1 week of being open this year, we opened in Rochester. The character Jeff, who I don't want to spoil it. I'll just say I spend a lot of time with this other character.
Okay.
He breaks his foot, and my fiance stepped on for the role for 3 or 4 months.
Oh,
And
wow.
that was really fun for us to play opposite together. And we did go near Detroit. We didn't go to Detroit, but we went to Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is near where Western Michigan is. And we went to Toledo. And so all of our friends and family were able to come see us play these parts together. And
Ah,
oh, it was a dream come true. It was so much fun. And but
that's
the main
neat.
thing is performing together is amazing, but really just being able to see all these cities and experience the food and the culture of each city has been the best part.
You know, it can either bring together a couple or not. And I've seen quite a few couples that are touring, that tour together, and they're always happier than
Yeah.
couples it's funny. And I think it's you have that shared passion of performing.
Absolutely. And we just feed each other positivity as we go. And like, you know, tour life can be really hard. I can't bring all my shoes, and that's been
Right.
really difficult for me. Like we get
Hmm.
2 suitcases and that's it. Or, you know, we miss our families and we miss out on, you know, our family's weddings. We've missed a couple weddings, and it's been really, really, that's hard.
I
But
would
it's
think that would be
nice
the hardest part.
when you have a partner who understands why you're making those sacrifices. That makes the biggest difference because
Absolutely.
where we can lean on each other and we understand because we're both actors, which is really funny because that's a theme in Tootsie is that
Hmm.
our two main characters, Michael and Julie, who Michael, you know, is dressed as Dorothy. And when he is dressed as Dorothy, him and the character Julie, they really confide in each other about how hard it is to maintain relationships with people when you're in this industry. And I think
Hmm.
that's a really special theme that we touch on. And again, all people who love theater or who have pursued theater, they understand that. And
Hmm.
really, I think this is a perfect show for St. Louis because there are so many theater lovers out there that are gonna, this show is gonna touch them and make them feel happy and sad and just feel all the feels. It's gonna be awesome.
We do love our theater, and you're going to love the Fabulous Fox. And I know we're going to love you, Payton, and we're going to love seeing your fiance and the whole cast of Tootsie, which again at the Fabulous Fox, it's right there scrolling March 21st through April 2nd. Check it out. Get your tickets now because I have a feeling this could be sold out. Congrats.
Thank
We'll,
you
s-
so, so much.
we can't wait to see you, Payton.
Thank you. It was been a pleasure being on, and I can't wait to be in St. Louis.
Yay.